Hello.
I'd like to call this meeting to order. Today is October 22nd. This is a meeting of the Finance and Administration Committee and a special meeting of the Board of Directors of the West Basin Municipal Water District. And so with that, let's please do a determination of quorum. General Manager E.J. Caldwell.
Yes, thank you very much. Director Harold Williams. Here. Chairman Scott Houston.
Here.
Director Gloria Gray.
Here.
Director Desi Alvarez. Director Don Deere. Here.
Okay, very good. We have quorum. So let's move forward. Public comment. Is there anyone from the public wishing to speak?
Mr. Chairman, we have not received any requests for public comment, though this meeting is being held both in person and virtually. If there's any member of the public that would like to speak, please indicate so now by raising a virtual hand. And Mr. Chairman, I do not see any requests.
Very good. So moving on, presentations. We have no presentations today. Item 5 is action calendar. 5A, approval of minutes. EJ.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. This item 5A, again, is the approval of minutes. For this presentation, we have Desiree Quintero, our Manager of Administration, our Board Secretary.
Good morning, members of the committee and board. Approval of minutes can be found beginning on packet page 3. The minutes for the West Basin Municipal Water District Board of Directors meetings are an integral part of the public meeting process. Minutes provide a history of the actions taken at board meetings, which is informative not only for members of the public, but for other stakeholders as well. Minutes for the September 23rd, 2024 regular board meeting have been attached for consideration and can be found beginning on packet page 5. With that, I would like to read the recommendation that the board approve the September 23rd, 2024 regular board meeting minutes.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Any questions from committee members? Director Williams.
No, thank you.
Director Gray. Director Deere.
No, thank you.
Great. So I have no questions and they look in order to me. So I would recommend approval to the full board. Director Williams.
Motion, sir.
You. Okay, 5B is in boy, designating Association of California Water Agencies authorized voting representative. EJ.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. For this presentation, we do have Desiree Quintero, our Manager of Administration, as well as I'm available to answer any questions regarding past practices.
All right, members of the committee and board. Designation of the Association of California Water Agencies authorized voting representative can be found beginning on packet page 10. A membership meeting will be held at Aqua's 2024 Fall Conference and Expo to conduct a vote by the membership on proposed amended and restated bylaws of the Association of California Water Agencies. Proposed amendments are included as attachment A, which can be found beginning on packet page 12. The in-person meeting will be held on Wednesday, December 4th at 1:30 p.m. at the main stage in the Springs Ballroom F&G at the JW Marriott Desert Springs Resort and Spa in Palm Desert. Each member agency is entitled to one vote that will be cast by its authorized voting representative. Member agencies must designate their voting representative and alternate by submitting the attached voting representative form by Monday, November 25th. General Manager E.J. Caldwell will be attending the Aqua Fall Conference and membership meeting on behalf of West Basin. As such, staff recommends that the board designate the General Manager to serve as West Basin's authorized voting representative at the December 4th, 2024 Aqua membership meeting. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the only thing I would add is that staff has been serving as the designated voter for the past several years. I was trying to recall going back. What I do recall is that Aqua has changed their voting process. It used to be a little bit more, I don't want to use the term chaotic, but during lunch, All the agencies would stay post lunch and would cast their ballot. And I believe probably 6 to 8 years ago, there was a contested election. And when that happened, it triggered this new process of having a designated voter there. They utilize these clicking technologies. And so that has been the process. You have to go check in before the lunch and do all these different things. So staff is happy to do that. I have, even prior to serving as the interim general manager, served in that capacity. It does require a little bit of additional time because you need to stay behind after one of those lunches. But if any member of the board of directors would like to serve in that capacity, I would leave that to the committee and board to do so. But I'm happy to do that again as well.
Well, I'll just put my opinion out there and then Director Williams, I want to hear yours, but I know in the past, usually it has been the general manager or a staff person we've given that authority to, and I'm completely fine with that. But obviously it's a decision of the whole board. So what do you think, Director Williams?
I agree.
So I think, well, let's Director Gray, what do you think?
I think EJ should continue to do that. I support that.
Good, Director Deere.
Agree.
There you go. So we have 4 of us are here. I think what we should do is, can we just put this on the consent calendar from the committee that we recommend appointing EJ Caldwell to be our designee for the vote at Aqua?
Mr. Chairman, if I could add it, it wasn't in there, but perhaps we can add it. If we wanted to name an alternate, the alternate that I know will be at that conference would be Matt Bay, who's our manager of water policy and resources development. I plan to be there and short of any emergency will be there. But if Matt wanted to, or if there was an emergency, Matt would obviously be there in person.
I think that's a great recommendation. So let's add that to what we're deciding. So we'll add Matt Bay as the designated alternate. And are you okay with that, Director Williams?
I am.
All right. That was pretty easy. And EJ, you can stay after that lunch and deal with it. So with that, we can put that on the consent calendar, correct? Okay, very good. Thank you. All right, 5C as in cat, consider sponsorship of fiscal year 24-25 community outreach event.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. For this presentation, we have Kaya Yoshida, our administrative assistant.
And members of the board, starting on packet page 69, we do have one item for your consideration today. The South Bay Workforce Investment Board is hosting its 29th annual award ceremony on Thursday, November 14th, 2024 at the Input Dome in Inglewood. Director Gray is requesting that West Basin sponsor the award ceremony and consider an amount from $5,000 to $7,000, but is specifically recommending the $7,000 platinum sponsorship. This sponsorship would grant West Basin an advertisement promoting district awareness, with a sponsorship at the $7,000 level, granting the district an additional VIP tour of the arena during the reception. Sponsoring the event in an amount lower than $7,000 would still include multiple tickets to the event, logo placement, and name recognition on event collateral as detailed on packet page 74. West Basin previously sponsored this event in fiscal year 23-24 at the platinum level for $5,000, which provided the opportunity for an advertisement. It should be noted that the platinum sponsorship level has increased this year from $5,000 to $7,000 due to benefit costs. Additional information regarding this sponsorship request is included in attachment A, beginning on packet page 71. Funds for the sponsorship of community outreach events are included in the fiscal year 24-25 community outreach budget in the amount of $75,000, with $49,400 currently available for this request. These details can be found in attachment B, starting on packet page 76. With that, would you like me to read the recommendation?
Yes.
Dr. Gray recommends that the board consider sponsoring the South Bay Workforce Investment Board's 29th annual award ceremony event scheduled to be held on Thursday, November 14th, 2024, in the amount of $5,000 to $7,000. And that is happy to take any questions.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Questions, Director Williams?
Has there been a year that we have not supported this?
I
I don't,
I don't recall that.
Yeah.
We've been.
always.
I would recommend that we continue to participate at the amount we did last year.
Okay. Director Gray, I hear you. Do you want to make a comment?
Well, just that I thank the committee for considering it for the recommendation to the board, and we have sponsored this event for as many years as I can remember. And it certainly is a very valuable organization and community. And so I think we should continue. But just want to thank the committee for their recommendation.
Hey, Director Deere.
No further comment.
So I'm gonna make a comment, and I really love this organization. I think they're great, and we've supported them for years, and I'm glad it's here because I was worrying that it wasn't coming before us at some point. But I have to say that, you know, the price is pretty high. They've really jacked up this price. I would support $3,500 level. We still get a table, which is important, and we get a lot of the advertisements. So, you know, and they still get the benefit. So that's where I'm at. No disrespect to them, but $7,000 is I think a lot of money right now. So I would support 3,500. But this is a committee. So Director Williams, what do you think? Will we just push this to the full board to make it?
Can I make another comment based on what you just said?
Sure. Yes, go
Yeah.
ahead.
If you look at the request, they're having it at the SoFi Stadium, which obviously has driven the price up. And so, and I did talk to Mr. Vogel about that. So there is additional extra money based on, you know, what they're asking for. I don't remember what we did last year, but that is the reason. If you look at where it will be held, again, it's at the SoFi Stadium or the Intuit Stadium, one of those venues. So I think that's why the cost is what it is. And again, I would hope that we can support it at this level because of that reason. Thank you.
Well, excuse me. I mean, I do understand that, Director Gray, but it's still a lot of money. And we've only got $49,400 left, so 7,000 takes a chunk of it. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. Director Williams?
I kind of agree with you there because, you know, I hear this a lot when people want us to participate that the price has gone up. But they never say to us that, well, the price has gone down, so we're going to ask for a discount. But so you can reduce your contribution. So I would support, I still support the event and recognizing that where's it gonna be? Intuit though. They should be getting more money now. So they should be giving us discount. So I would say, I agree with maintain our,
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
Mr. Chair, is $3,500? Is that what Director Williams talking about? Are you going below the 5 or 5,000? Is that what
Well,
you recommend?
So we're looking at 3,500 because right now there is no 5,000 option. It's either 3,500 or 7,000.
I thought it said 5,000 to 7,000. I'm looking at the agenda.
Oh, I understand that, but the flyer package they sent us, the second level is $7,000.
Oh, you're looking at the flyer. Okay, I'm looking at the
Yeah.
recommendation on the
So
agenda.
I don't know that I don't know that they said they're giving us something for 5,000.
Oh, and Director Gray, just so you know, within the committee packet, what we tried to do is identify what we've done in the past, stay consistent with that, recognizing that really there was nothing there at that $5,000 level. We note the 3,500 and the 7,000, or the 7,000, I guess, in the board memo. But when you look at the materials that they provided, they have offered a generous package at the gold sponsorship level, which is $3,500. Again, the platinum sponsorship is 7,000. It includes the same number of tickets and table for that, as well as additional ads. So really it is up to the committee and board. What I'm hearing here is that the committee would prefer the 3,500. We can move that direction to the full board. And then, of course, if a director would like to pull the item for further discussion, we could do that there.
Yeah, but I do have a question, EJ. Thank you for that. But
Yep.
why was the 5,000? I mean, did they offer something different? That's why I'm a little confused at. So where did the 5,000 come from? Was that in the letter? I think it was in the letter, but they didn't offer anything different. Is that what you're saying?
So really what happened was our previous sponsorship level was at $5,000. And
Oh,
they've
okay.
increased the price of that sponsorship level from 5,000 to 7,000. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So recognizing that, what we did is we identified what we've done in the past, but then also note that that $5,000 package is no longer available. It's 7,000.
Okay. Oh, I see. So that's because 5,000 is what we did before, but
Correct.
the flyer has a packet, a sponsorship for 3,500, not a 5,000, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. The 5,000 has been bumped up to 7,000.
I know. I'm not looking at the 7,000, but I was I thought there was a 5,000 packet, but it's only
No.
3,500. But in the letter, they requested 5 to 7. I got it. Okay, so there was no discussion about what 5,000 would be compared to the 3,500, right?
That is correct. And we could discuss this with them, but what I would gather is that if the board chose to do 5,000, it would really be the gold sponsorship plus just an additional donation, really. It wouldn't be,
Right.
you wouldn't get, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the explanation. Thank you, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Gray. And I would love to support them at the amount from last year, but unfortunately, it's just gone up. And I will say, yeah, everybody wants to do everything at all these new facilities at SoFi and Intuit, and that's all wonderful. But, unfortunately, those places are much more expensive. And so they're passing the cost to everybody. And, that's not going to drive me to go to a certain venue. That's just, kind of where I'm at, because a lot of people are using these hooks. But it sounds like, I think, between Director Williams and myself, we're at the 3,500 level, correct, Director Williams? Correct. Yeah. And I would say if we pushed it at the higher level, I know this would get pulled and it would be a long discussion at the full board meeting. So I think that the 3,500 is reasonable. It still gives us the table. We still support them. And at the end of the day, the money needs to go to the organization more than the venue. That's just opinion. But, thank you, Director Gray, for bringing this forward. Any other discussion? Okay, so hearing none, we'll recommend the $3,500 sponsorship level. EJ and Desiree, if you all could just put that on the consent.
Will do. Staff will amend the report to reflect the $3,500 recommendation of the committee.
And I just know that we are obviously being very judicious with sponsorships, and sadly, I'm hearing, a lot of organizations right now, both public and private, are really watching our dollars. So, I get people coming all the time and the prices are going up. Yes, but we're on the same boat. So, we're gonna be very cautious. Okay, let's move on to 6A, our information calendar, our monthly financial reports. Jay.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. This item 6A will be presented by Stephanie Clemente Finley, our accounting supervisor.
Thank you, EJ. Good morning, committee members, Dr. Williams, Deere, Gray, and Houston. I will be presenting the agenda item 6A on the information calendar, monthly financials. As required by West Basin Municipal Water District Administrative Code, staff is required to submit various financial reports to the Board of Directors to keep them apprised of the financial condition and future needs of the district. So can I request that we go to agenda package page 77? Here you'll see the different reports that we will be presenting. And we will go to, if we can go to page 79. We're starting off with the demands list. So this is agenda item 6AA. This is for the period ending September 30th, 2024. The demands list concludes on agenda package page 82.
Yes. Did you find the aviation meter fee video?
It concludes on agenda package page 82. The total disbursements for September 30th, 2024 is 22 million. With that, Metropolitan, we for their monthly bill for July, their disbursement is 13 million. We also had a pass-through received from Golden State Water in the amount of 4.6 million. And that was basically a deposit to us, which we and then submitted a payment to Metropolitan Water District. And that is for the service connection for WB 23A. There is a description change on page 82, where it says net payroll employees for the month of May 2024. And this is on page 82. That should be September. So I don't have any other notes. We'd like to answer any questions that you may have for the demands list.
Director Williams, any questions?
No, thank you.
Director Gray, any questions? Or Director Deere?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. I do have a question, at least so far one, and that was on page 79. So this ChargePoint
Yes.
Inc.
So that is,
Vehicle service maintenance and monitoring, it's $29,000. So what's that about?
thank you for your question, Director Houston. So that is for our charging station here, our EV station here at West Basin at the Donald Dillard location. And that is over 5 years. So that goes into 2029.
What exactly does that entail, just so we understand? What does this pay for?
So you want to bring that up? We can bring up the invoice.
And then in the meantime, we have these over at the EDC Little plants as well, but they're run differently, or do we get billed? Oh, or how
Give
does-
up for those as well.
Okay, so yes, we do get billed. This is for Donald Dillard and ECL location.
What's for both?
Correct. Yes, so the service period starts July 24, 2024 to July 24, 2029. And they charge us $2,520. And that is for the location here. And then they also charge us $1,640 for the different charging stations here and El Segundo. I will have to get back to you in regards to the different charges. But it is for 15 charging stations.
So let me ask the general manager, you can give us the best answer now and or later, but how do those charging stations work? both at the ECL, which are very right there in the front in the public. I think the ones here are behind the gates.
Correct.
But can you just tell us, like, do the employees have to pay something when they use them or not, or how does this work?
Do not have to pay for them. What you do have to do is register with our Human Resources Department to be allowed to access. You have to download the app. Then our HR department has to allow you access to it. So every time you'd like to use one, you need to scan in, get authorized, and then you can release the charger, and then it'll charge your car. What we do here is we offer charging throughout the day. We do ask everybody to be mindful of the charging times that your car requires so that we can rotate cars in and out, which really isn't a problem with the exception of Wednesdays when we have all of our staff on hand. And we've seen a significant increase in the number of electric vehicles that staff has because of this opportunity. And then you'll notice that there are there's far fewer charging stations at ECL. We do allow Veolia staff to utilize those as well as West Basin staff. So if you happen to be there, again, we rotate in and out. You'll see cars moving throughout the day and provide access. Same scanning required and HR requirement as far as being allowed to do that. So if you were a member of the public and you happen to be on our site and you wanted to charge, you could not do so, and you couldn't even pay an extra fee. You would need to be authorized to utilize that. It's a private charge.
So I guess my last question, because I really didn't realize how all this worked and what it is. I think it's great we have them, and I assume, how they work, whatever. But I guess in the big picture, it's put up a perk, right? It's a perk to our employees and Veolia employees.
Correct.
Not charging any of them for the.
Yes, there is no charge to employees or to our Veolia contractors. It is a perk, yes, but it's also an incentive to utilize the vehicles. You'll recall that West Basin Municipal Water District attempted to get a portion of Metropolitan Water District's EV grant. Unfortunately, Met did not get that grant that we had co-applied for because California is moving towards all EVs for local governments. And then so the thought is that ultimately our truck out there will have our next truck will have to be an EV as well. So it is kind of where California local government and state government is headed towards. So we're ahead of the game there. But yes, I would characterize it as a perk and an incentive.
One other question is, do other cities, is that how they do theirs too, like on their properties, or do you even know?
So the ones I'm familiar with, Municipal Water District of Orange County, they have chargers similarly used, although if they have a gated parking area. So if you're there by invite or appointment. They allow charging there. The LADWP has chargers for staff employees. Again, you have to be a member of the LADWP family. Metropolitan Water District and their sub garage, they have a number of chargers, but you have to be a Metropolitan Water District employee or director to utilize those. So I think it's in line with what most are doing, but I can't be sure of all.
Great. Well, again, Director Williams, go ahead. You got a question?
Yeah, question just quickly. I noticed that the city of Carson is pretty big in this area also. Do they allow us, do we share with the cities?
We do not share, and just from my past experience, yes, the city of Carson does have a number of chargers accessible to the public, but those are paid chargers. If you were to go into their staff parking areas, they do have some that are available to staff. Another really good example would be the city of Manhattan Beach. City of Manhattan Beach has a number of city-owned electric vehicles, so they have city-owned chargers. However, the city of Manhattan Beach also provides free charging to the public in designated areas. So you'll find metered parking, and they have free chargers for members of the public. You have to be an EV to utilize that parking stall. Hermosa Beach also has the same. El Segundo has a few free charging stations in their community. So I think you're starting to see it throughout our service area, but most municipalities have it available to their staff or to their city-owned EV cars, which most of our cities have now.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that was a good question, Rick, because I've seen them, for example, right at Elsinore City Hall, but I don't know who can use them or not. And then I didn't realize, you know, if you don't have a certain app, you cannot use even the ones that we have, et cetera, et cetera. So number one, I mean, I think we're all in that space of being supportive of the future of EVs and this, that, and the other. But I would say, EJ, can you please break this out a little bit for us when we have more of our budget discussions, just so we understand? Because obviously, in the long run, more EVs, probably, and or more demand on these, you know, for employees, et cetera. So it'd probably be a good idea for the agency to understand how much it does cost us, you know, and then we realize, yes, that's a great benefit to our employees, or, you know, at some point, do we adjust that? You know, we just have to be realistic, of course, and we've got these upfront costs. So, you know, but right now I understand we want to incentivize people, and that is a very nice, you know, perk. I mean, forgive me if people don't like that word or not, I don't know, but I think it's a nice perk, quite frankly. But I would like you to break that out for us when we do our budget talks.
To do that.
So we just understand what that's costing the district, which also could be looked at as a benefit to our employees. So. Great. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't see anything else that stands out at the moment. So let's go ahead and move on to the next portion. Thank you.
So now I'd like to go to page 84, which is our cash and investment report. Here you will see the various security types broken down, and we have a total market value of 52 million. Then on page 85, we have our credit quality distribution. 86 is our maturity distribution. And then the following pages, 87 through 95, are the transactions during the month of September. Following the glossary, concluding on page 97. Any questions in regards to the investment report, cash and investment report?
Questions? Director Williams?
No, thank you.
Director Deere? Director Gray, questions? Okay, go ahead, next.
And I request that we go to the third item, which is the on packet page 100, which gives us our monthly sales. Starting at the top, we have our imported retail sales for the period for September. So we have 8,056 acre feet for the month of September. Year to date, 25,885. So we are over our fiscal year 24 and our budget. And following at the bottom of the page, we have our imported barrier. So for September, we have 809 acre feet with a year to date of 2,479, which we are over fiscal year 24 and the budget. And then going to packet page 101, we're continuing with our recycled water at the top. September, we have 2,670 acre feet and 8,347 year to date, which we are under fiscal year 24 budget. And then continuing on, we have our September year, fiscal year 25, the barrier and tertiary, with a total of 2,670. Year to date, 8,347. which we are under fiscal year 25 or 24, excuse me, and the budget. Any questions in regards to this?
Any questions?
No, thank you.
Director Gray, any questions? I just have more of a generic question, and it's probably more for EJ, but regarding the recycled water and the barrier, I mean, have we had any restrictions or slowdowns with what the county's allowed us to inject?
No, we're actually seeing an increase in production across the board when it comes to our barrier water supply and our low and high pressure boiler feed for Chevron coming from the ECL, primarily due to the replacement of the RO membranes there on site. I think maybe I misspoke. Maybe it's the microfiltration. I'll have to check. But we are seeing an increase in production, but we've had a number of different shutdowns. And as far as the refineries go, we're also seeing, the JMM expansion project.
Hmm.
We had expected to be online a long time ago. So we're still working on that and pushing forward with a 30-day test, but we're seeing some delays there as well. So when we look at our recycled water sales, we're being impacted, I think, in a number of different ways as it relates to getting water to our refiners and the barrier. Don't forget when we are serving Chevron and the barrier, when we have a shutdown, immediately or as soon as we can, we get Chevron back up and running. And then we bring the barrier on as soon as we can after that. But Chevron has served as our priority throughout this time.
Okay. But again, as far as the county, they haven't been,
They've always maintained that there must be some potable water into the barrier. And so that's not really being impacted by our production per se. But they've always held on to the fact that they would like to see that continued potable use or potable water utilizing the barrier. So it's just that
it's a very small percentage, I
it's a
believe.
very small percent, but when we were unable to deliver, they utilize the potable supply.
Very good. All right. Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the final portion.
Okay, so our fourth item is on page 102 of the agenda packet. And this is our director's conference and travel expenses. Our annual budget, 75,000. We spent 11,295, with the remaining balance, 63,704,000. And finally, our fifth item is on packet page 103, executive management and staff travel expenses. Year to date, annual budget is 101,000. Year to date, we spent 18,836 with the remaining budget of 82,160.
Very good.
That concludes the monthly financial reports. And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any questions, Director Williams? Thank you. Director Deere?
No.
Director Gray, any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, I have no further questions on that. Closed session, we have no closed session today. Director's comments and future agenda items. I'll start with our member, Director Williams.
No, thank you.
Director Deere.
No.
Great. Director Gray.
Thank you to staff for the reports today. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll echo that. Thank you so much for the reports. Very efficient today, much appreciated. Let's see, our next meeting will be on 4. And with that, you're adjourned.